Hello everyone, I'm Sunaina Jadhav, Academic in charge of Electronics and Telecommunication Department. I hope you all are safe and taking care of yourselves. In this pandemic, finally we have completed with the submissions of 6th semester. In spite of the terrible situation we are in, it's time for us to move ahead and begin with the upcoming semester. We'll be commencing soon with the 7th semester, wherein we have department level elective subject. Here I'll be giving you a brief description about the electives offered by our department. The scheme for semester 7 consists of microwave engineering, mobile communication system and optical communication. These three subjects are compulsory subjects. The fourth subject is department level optional course 3, wherein we have 5 subjects which will be offered to you and you have to select one subject from these 5 subjects. Neural networks and fuzzy logic, big data analytics, internet communication engineering, CMOS mixed signal VLSI, embedded system. The syllabus of each of these subjects will be shared to all of the students. Also a brief description about the benefits, applications and future prospects of each of the subjects will be described by the faculty members of our department, and the links of those videos will be shared to you. Later, Professor Neha Garat ma'am, who will be your class in charge, will be sharing a Google form to you, wherein you have to enter 2 options, priority 1 and priority 2. Depending upon the syllabus shared to you, as well as the link shared by the faculty members, you can take a decision. The choice is yours. Also, in addition to this, my request is you go through the previous question papers, because scoring is also a crucial point that needs to be considered. Thanks a lot.
Hello everyone, I am Ekta Nayak, working in Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. Today I would like to give you a brief description of the subject Neural Networks and Fuzzy Logic. The objectives of this subject are to introduce the concepts, understanding and knowledge of artificial neural networks and fuzzy logic, so that you can solve real-world complex problems. As the name says, subject is divided in 2 parts, neural network and fuzzy logic. First, let's see what is neural network. Neural network are a series of algorithms that mimic the operation of human brain to recognize relationship between vast amount of data. Now let's have a look on a simple architecture of neural network. It is composed of layers of computational unit called neurons, with connection in different layers. Here we can see input layer, hidden layer and output layer. Neural network takes in data, train themselves to recognize the pattern in this data and then predicts the output for a new set of similar data. It works same as human brain. When we see something, our brain memorizes that, and when we see the same thing again, it tries to recall it. The next is the example of how the neural network works. Like this is the example of working of neural network used with an OCR, that is optical character recognition. This shows that how a handwritten document can be converted in a digital document. Now we will see what neural network can do. Neural network can do the classification, prediction, clustering, and association. In classification, neural network organize patterns or data sets into predefined classes. In prediction, they produce the expected output from the given input. Whereas in clustering, they identify a unique feature of the data and classify it without any knowledge of prior data. For associating, neural network can be trained to remember patterns. When you show an unfamiliar version of a pattern, the network associates it with the most comparable version in its memory and reverts to the later. As we have discussed the capabilities of neural network, we also know that neural network can learn and adapt according to the changing environment. They contribute to almost every field. Let it be robotics, self-driven car, forecasting or wireless sensor nodes. They make things smarter. Now let's look where we use neural network in our everyday life. So here are some examples. Like, let it be social media, your emails, your unlocking of the phone, or the home assistant. We have seen like how the neural network is making things smarter. You might be thinking like I have given the example of the things which are related to artificial intelligence or machine learning. So how neural network is related to that? Now here if we see first what is deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses neural network to solve every more complex challenges such as image, audio and video classification. So from this we can make out like deep learning is a subset of machine learning and machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So all these are interrelated. So neural networks are the foundation of artificial intelligence. Next is fuzzy logic. Now as we have seen the half part of the subject, that is what is neural network, now we will discuss what is fuzzy logic. The term fuzzy logic was introduced with the proposal of fuzzy set theory by Dr. Lotfizadeh in 1965. He is also called the father of fuzzy logic. Before going to the definition of fuzzy logic, let's see what is the meaning of word fuzzy. Fuzzy means which is something not clear or which is blur. Now if we see the definition of fuzzy logic is a generalization of standard logic in which a concept can possess a degree of truth anywhere between 0 and 1. Standard logic applies to concepts that are completely true or completely false. How fuzzy logic works. Now we know like how Boolean logic works. It has only two states, either it is true or false, yes or no, or 1 and 0. Whereas fuzzy logic we have in between stages between true and false. Like if we see over here, if we ask someone the question, is Nick honest? In Boolean it will be only true or false. Whereas in fuzzy it will be like extremely, and it will vary and it will go till extremely dishonest. Next is the block diagram of fuzzy controller. With the help of this block diagram you will come to know like what all you are going to study for in the fuzzy part. Now here we have the blocks such as fuzzifier, rules, intelligence and defuzzification. So how this work is like what all we have around us works on the crisp data or the classical data. Fuzzifier converts the crisp data to the fuzzy input. This process is called as fuzzification. While designing the fuzzy controller, deep technical knowledge of the system is not necessary. If we have all the if-then rules offered by the expert to control the decision-making skills, it is more than sufficient. The intelligence block or the inference block generates the control system depending upon the rules and the fuzzy input which it gets. Now the output of this block is passed to the defuzzifier, but defuzzifier what it is getting is the fuzzy set of data which cannot be directly given to any of the controlling device. So first it need to be converted into the crisp data. This process is called as defuzzification. In this course for fuzzy part you will learn how to design a controller. Before that we'll study different fuzzification technique, how to design rules, inference or intelligence part and defuzzification techniques. Here are the fuzzy logic applications in real life. The first train type to use fuzzy logic to control its speed is running in Japan. It has relatively more smoothness at the starts and the stops. When compared to other trains, it is 10% more energy efficient than human controlled acceleration. The other applications of fuzzy are washing machines, HVAC, and many more. Fuzzy logic can be used wherever controlling decision making or recognition is required. These are some of the applications of fuzzy logic. This is the list of the books which you will require for the course. Neural networks and fuzzy logic is an emerging technology and it will continue. This course is very interesting, easy and scoring. Thank you.
I'm Neha Gharat, working as an assistant professor in Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. Hope all of you are doing well and safe at home. During such a pandemic situation, all of us has experienced that the efficient and effective way of communication is internet communication. As a student, you are well aware of this fact as you have done submissions, presentations using online mode, that is through the internet communication. So today, let me give you the brief introduction of internet communication engineering, which is one of your electives. First of all, let's discuss the objective of this subject. Objectives are to focus on internet protocol, standards, services and administration, to discuss the Internet Security Protocol and security services, also to focus on multimedia communication standards and compression techniques, and to discuss the multimedia communication across the networks. Let's first discuss what is Internet communication. The Internet communication is sharing of information, ideas, or simply words over the World Wide Web or the Internet. The Internet consists of a worldwide string of connected networks that exchanges data through the packet switching using the standardized Internet Protocol Suite TCP/IP. TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. These two protocols were developed in early days of Internet by the US military. The purpose was to allow computers to communicate over the long distance network. The Internet Communication Engineering provides you the knowledge about TCP/IP protocol suite, how the services are provided, how these protocols are designed, and the broad classification of IP addresses. TCP/IP allows us to access different applications through Internet communication. These applications are telephone services, audio conferencing, email, instant messaging, video conferencing, and voice messaging. Internet communication is advantageous to us with respect to many aspects, such as speed and time. We have switched from 3G to 4G network, and hence we are having enough bandwidth which increases the speed of communication and reduces the time. Internet communication has also played a key role in globalization. It is also cost effective. Nowadays we are using internet communication, or you can say the online resources, in education sector for teaching purposes. Internet communication has created more business opportunities. Just now we have discussed advantages of internet communication. But a disadvantage or one of the challenges of internet communication is internet security. Internet security is generally becoming a top priority for both businesses and governments. Internet security is related to browser security, security of data entered through a web, and overall authentication and protection of data sent via Internet protocol. The Internet represents an insecure channel for exchanging information, which leads to the high risk of intrusion or fraud. Many methods are used to protect the data, including encryption, then antivirus programs, and use of firewalls. The engineers are also working to secure the network and the internet. This also gives rise to the job opportunities in the field of internet security. Internet communication engineering subject will provide you a deep understanding of how to design, build, implement, and maintain the network for internet communication. And after gaining this knowledge, you will find the job opportunities at Google, Reliance Communication, Reliance Jio, Tata Communication, Doordarshan, BSNL, Well, and many more companies. These companies will give you the opportunity to work as network engineer, network administrator, or as a L2, L3 engineer. Recently, one of our alumni has been appointed as a network engineer at Google. So, in the field of internet communication, you are having wide range of job opportunities. Also, you can go for the CCNA certification or the Microsoft certification and get the opportunity to work at such a reputed companies. I hope the information provided to you will be helpful for opting the correct elective. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Professor Sunaina Jadhav from Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. I would like to give you a brief description about the subject CMOS Mixed Signal VLSI. The major objectives of this course are to know the importance of CMOS and Mixed Signal VLSI in field of EXTC, understand the methodologies for analysis and design of CMOS mixed signal circuits like data converters, also to know the issues associated with high performance mixed signal VLSI circuits. Why CMOS? CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. CMOS circuits are found in several types of electronic components including microprocessors, batteries, image sensors in digital cameras and so on. MOS in CMOS refers to transistors, that is MOSFETs, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors. Metal part is a bit misleading as modern MOSFETs often use polysilicon instead of aluminium as conducting material. Complementary part of CMOS refers to two different types of transistors, that is NMOS transistor and PMOS transistors. These two semiconductors work together and may form logic gates based on how a circuit is designed. CMOS is basically a technology used for constructing an integrated circuit, whereas VLSI process of creating an IC by combining thousands of transistors into a single chip. CMOS transistors are popularly known for their efficient use of electrical power. There are certain advantages of CMOS which basically comprises of low static power consumption, high noise immunity, reducing the complexity of the circuit, which in turn increases the density of logic functions on a chip. The next part is mixed signal VLSI design. Integrated circuits, they are generally classified into two types. Digital integrated circuits, examples are microprocessors or analog ICs like an operational amplifier. Mixed signal integrated circuit comprises of both analog and digital circuits on the same chip. This category of chip has grown drastically with increase of 3G cell phones and other portable technologies. Mixed signal ICs are often used to convert analog signals to digital signals so that digital devices can process them. But there are certain challenging issues that need to be considered. Mixed signal ICs are more difficult to design and manufacture than analog only or digital only ICs. For example, a mixed signal ICs have both analog and digital components which share a common power supply. However, both these devices have different power needs and consumption characteristics, and this makes a non-trivial goal in chip design. In real-life applications, mixed signal design are everywhere. For example, smartphones, processors, computers, memory chips, mobile communication, audio-video processing, programmable devices such as PLA, FPGAs, embedded systems used in cars, factories, system on chips, and so on. VLSI always depends on the trends of electronic industry. Currently, the business of electronic industry is driven mostly by the growth of mobile devices, automotive sectors, cloud servers, and other upcoming fields like IoT, that is Internet of Things. IoT is growing in a big way through mobile app-based services like Uber, Ola, industrial automation, smart city, smart home, wherein we can see number of appliances at your house can be controlled at your fingertip from distant location. And for this, IoT demands new wireless and wired protocols to realize the connected devices. Protocols like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, 5G, etc. will evolve. And the chip designers need to create new IPs, chips and SoCs to support these new protocols. In addition to this, also the growth of AI, that is artificial intelligence, demands new kinds of powerful processors and memories for high-speed execution. Upcoming fields like self-driven cars demand growth of AI, especially ML, that is machine learning. Machine learning models cannot be trained on CPUs due to their inefficiency of dealing with high-quality data sets, preferably images and videos. So VLSI designer designs
GPUs to overcome the problems. Similarly, all kind of hardware that AI requires can only be fabricated by VLSI industry. Now we will see the job opportunities which are available for a VLSI engineer. There are companies like Intel's, AMD's which go for manufacturing of processors, Rambus, Micron, SanDisk go for operating memory devices. Automotive sectors we have Infineon, NXP's. Wireless sectors we have companies like Broadcom's, Qualcomm's which go for manufacturing of mobile processors, RF chips, smart card microcontrollers, cellular modems, touch controllers and so on. The most popular sector is mobile system on chip, wherein we have companies like Samsung, Apple, Nvidia which recruit VLSI design engineers. We have companies like Intel, Google which go for IoT web-based app services. In addition to this, there are certain companies like Cisco, Texas Instruments, Cypress which also recruit VLSI design engineers. We'll move to the next, which is the future scope of VLSI industry. VLSI design is a dynamic profession where careers can be highly satisfying as it offers immense growth prospects. India is considered as one of the important center for chip design, and at present there are more than 160 chip design centers in India. In the job sector, VLSI professionals are always in high demand due to the fast changing chip designing industry, and there is no shortage of jobs for chip designers in the coming time. There are different types of roles which are available. They can work as a FPGA designer, PCB designer, front-end verification engineer, ASIC front-end designer and so on. This is a domain which can never diminish and it is an ever-growing field. This is a list of certain alumni who are working in the most prestigious VLSI industry like Cadence Design Systems, KLA-Tencors, Nvidia and AMD's. Thanks a lot.
Hello everyone, this is Professor Shaista Khanam of Electronics and Telecommunication Department. Embedded System. Embedded System, it is a combination of hardware and software to do a specific task. Washing machine is an example of a small embedded system to do a specific task of washing a clothes. This washing machine do its operation depending upon the button press, turning of the dials depending upon the water level sensor, and these signals are given to the microcontroller of embedded system and which is going to control the speed of a motor which is nothing but going to control the drum. And the status of the washing machine is also displayed. Key component of embedded systems are sensor and switch. Depending upon the input given by the sensor and switch is given to the microcontroller which is the brain of embedded system, and depending upon the input signal the action will be taken by the microcontroller and the signal will be given to the actuator, or it can also be displayed on an indicator. Another example is a robotic arm which is nothing but used to pick and drop the object, which is controlled by the switch, and the microcontroller is going to control the robotic arm. Embedded system finds its wide application from the gaming console, set-top box, finding its highly sophisticated application like industrial robots. It finds application in consumer electronics, elevators, planes, cars, etc. Then coming to the very highly sophisticated embedded system, smartphones. Smartphone is a highly sophisticated embedded system, whereas the flexible smartphone, which is a future of a smartphone. Quadcopter, it is used by the Amazon to deliver goods. Autonomous vehicle, which is working on a GPS position provided and without a driver, which is a huge embedded system. Smartwatch is nothing but going to sense different parameters, our blood pressure, etc., and giving messages and call, etc. Then embedded system is divided into real-time embedded system. Real-time embedded system are the system which work in a specific time period. It is again divided into hard real time and soft real time. In hard real time, if that the small delay cannot be tolerated. So, for example, if a missile miss a target, then there is a loss of system, there is a loss of human life also. So, the delay cannot be tolerated. In aircraft, the same thing, that if it will miss by the small time period, right, then it can affect the human life. Whereas DVD player, which is an example of a soft real time, if anything goes wrong, then it cannot affect the whole system, will not destroy the whole system. These are some examples of real time system. Real time systems are using real time operating system. What is operating system? Is a system software that manages computer hardware, software resources, and provides common services for computer programs. A real time operating system is an operating system intended to serve real-time applications immediately. Common example of RTOS is embedded system in aircraft. After completing this course, you will be able to understand embedded system, processor and communication techniques, real-time operating system, and you will be able to design embedded system application using RTOS. Future scope of embedded system. Artificial intelligence. It is one of the field which is where lot of work is going on. Artificial intelligence and robotics is a two field which is giving a very wide applications and making our robot more smarter. IoT, Internet of Things. With Internet of Things, all the devices will be connected with the help of internet, and the devices can exchange the data remotely. So in near future, the whole world will be connected, which is a very huge embedded system. AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality. Virtual reality, you enter into the virtual world, and augmented reality, with the help of smart glasses, you can feel a real world near you. Now, COVID-19, the whole world is affected by this. Now, in this situation, there are some of the embedded system products which are helping in this situation. One is Robot Dog, which is developed by the Americans, and it is used in Singapore Park to regulate the social distancing. Another is a CoroBot. CoroBot is nothing but an IoT based robot which is developed by a very young person, Pratik Sirodkar from Mumbai. And this IoT controlled bot is used to take care of the COVID patient by maintaining the social distancing. As we have seen, there are a lot of work is going on in this embedded system field, and market demand or market research also report that the embedded system market will have a good rise by 2025, and the growth rate is good. And the key factor of growth is because there are a lot of research is going on in embedded system. Why there is lot of research needed in this field? Because there is a high demand in a devices like driver assistance system, then electric vehicle, then portable devices such as wearables, then in military applications. So we have seen what is embedded system, what are the applications of embedded system, what are the research areas, are future scope which is going on, which are the future scope of embedded system. So there is a lot of job opportunities in this field, and the top recruiters in embedded system domains are this, and we expect then some of you will be part of these companies in near future. So all the best. Thank you so much.